Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I see Jase rocking that tune. I've got some West Ham fan TV royalty in the house tonight. Talk about the game. Up on the top left-hand side is Jason, Dan Lawless, the watch-along kings, and on the top right-hand corner is the monk, Mitchell.
Thank you.
He's a changed man. Dan and Jase, talk to me. What do you make of today?
You need to go first because you was angry.
Yeah, I was very angry. I was very upset with the performance, but it was just another terrible performance where we robbed the result out of it. We robbed points from another team, and it's just been a crap year. 2022 was just shit all season. So yeah, I tell you what, if we would have lost, mate, I would have been even more fuming. I've had time to calm down, but yeah, I'm not happy with that performance.
Yeah. Jase, what about you, son?
When you look at it, right, we're stealing points from people, and we're really poor. Like the Watford game, we was poor, right? Like we stole a win out of that, right? I'm not like, I know it, like beforehand, if we was in relegation zone, we would have lost the Leicester game, right? But now we're in this little top four, little fight in that. We do get these little draws and wins and that. So it's kind of like yes and no, isn't it? Like,
yeah. I don't know where your logic of this, like, because we're in the top four, we're getting these results.
When we're in the top four, we're stealing points now. We're stealing points. But if it was in relegation, we wouldn't have stolen points.
Yeah, do you know why? Because we've got better players.
Yeah, I know we've got better players, but we wouldn't be stealing points like this and that. But
I understand what you're saying, Jase.
It was a poor game again. It was a poor game again.
It was, mate. Mitch, what did you make of it before we get started?
Oh, very frustrating, mate. I ain't gonna lie. We are riding the luck so much this calendar year. I don't know how we're doing it, and it winds me up because I just feel like I'm surrounded by people that are just like oblivious, like all the time, just telling me that. Oh, look, you speak by the way people are reacting. That we've been losing all our games this year and all this season. I don't was in a relegation scrap. Like this luck that we've got at the moment, considering we've been playing poor teams as well.
Yeah,
and not just every team we played. I think this calendar year, besides from Man United, even Man United are off form. Every team we played have been bad. Like this, so this is a poor Leicester team who's bang out of form at the moment. You know, where are they in the league? 13th, 15th? I think 16th. Actually, 13th, yeah, exactly. And if we want to be real and challenge top four, we should be brushing these aside, really, considering they've got some players out. Considering we basically have a fully fit team. Obviously, I know Diop came in today, but Diop wasn't a problem, as obviously we'll come into. And that was the biggest shock today, that Diop wasn't a problem. I mean,
well, Mitch, we will get to it, son. Right? I'll give my fault as the ratings go on, but let's start off with this man.
But you know what? I just want to say on Mitchell's point here, what people are saying about we're fourth and we're still up there. It's the performances, and this is the thing that worries me. Consistently poor performances, and our luck is going to run out. We're not going to keep being able to just get these results over the line. We're going to have FA Cup coming. We're going to have Europa League. You can't afford to do that in Europa League.
100%.
Get knocked out.
That's I agree.
We've got a fully fit attack at the moment, and we're scraping results.
Don't talk to me about Antonio, Mitch, because I'm going to burst my bubble.
I didn't mention his name yet. I didn't mention his name.
100%. But let's start off in goal. Fabianski. Dan and Jase, give me your assessment and thoughts on Fabianski today.
He was standard, wasn't he? Really?
Yeah, do you know what? Some people was getting onto him, but like obviously the penalty, he goes the right way.
He went the right way.
It just gets under him. It took it quick, and then their second. There wasn't really anything he could do about it. To be honest, he didn't really. They didn't have a load of shots on target, so I can't say he pulled out some saves that really kept us in it. Some amazing saves. So I don't know, man. I'd say like
I'll say 7.
7. Yeah, you know what? You read my mind. I was exactly about to say 7.
I'll say 7.
I'm about to say that.
So we've got 2 7s from Dan and Jase. Mitchell, what do you reckon?
Completely agree with everything they've said. I thought his kicking at times was pretty poor as well, though. I think I think he commanded his box well as his best out. I think his best attribute. I think Fabianski is where he commands his box and claims things. I think gotten much better at that this season. Actually, one of his things that he's only gotten better at. Yeah, I don't think he's done anything great though. Like no saves. I don't think he made actually any saves. Yeah, standard. Like I don't know, six. I don't know. I'm thinking six for this. I think 6 because he conceded 2.
Average.
6 ain't bad. 6 is average. I think like 7. I think is good, but I don't think it was good. For me personally, I'd say 6.
Yeah, go.
I'm gonna say. No, I don't know. I think like, he was okay today. I think a 7
Yeah,
is
6 okay.
Yeah, I know, but no. The reason why I think
he conceded 2.
He's unlucky with the penalty. That's the first thing. Like,
Of course, yeah.
He's inches away from getting that. He was pretty steady today. Like, even for corners and things like that, he come out and yeah, I don't think he was. He's not the problem today. So this is going to be pretty short and sweet from me. I'll give him a 7. But the next person we're going to get onto, he's definitely not getting a 7. I know that. So it's a 7, and a 6 from Mitchell. Moving on to this man, Vladimir Coufal. I don't know what has happened to this man, but he has fallen off an edge of a cliff, and he has not been the same player this season as he was last season. Dan and Jase, take it away, mate.
He had a poor game today. He was really, really poor today, right? And he did get taken off, right? Yes,
which is.
But
here we go.
But he's not a bad player.
No,
he just had an off day.
Yes, but this is a player rating for the Leicester versus West Ham match.
He had an off day. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying he's had an off day today. Yeah.
All right.
It was poor today.
Okay.
It was poor.
Yeah.
Right. Poor. Giving him a 4 today.
4. You know what? Yeah, he was poor. He uncharacteristically got subbed off for Frederick.
It was shocking how poor he was today. I couldn't believe it.
He was getting done on his side.
Can you
Let me ask you both. Let me ask you both this. What has happened to Coufal this season? What is it?
I don't know. I really don't know. He's one of our best players usually.
There's got to be something that has had a knock-on effect within the whole team of how we're playing. Like, because it's not even just him. Like, we're going to get to other players and his mate, who I think has had a dip. But something's up there. But yeah, if I was...
Is it because Ogbona's out now and like, because Ogbonna was like the lead at the back?
Nah, I don't know. I think even the start of the season, he was really bad as well.
Yeah.
The first game, Newcastle, I said... I remember saying to this bloke in front of me on the way end, I said, what has happened to Soufe's game? It's like he's lost his brain. I think this is my theory. Here. Since his new contract at the start of the season, I reckon with that extra bit of dough he's gone and had a surgical procedure. He's removed a bit of his fucking brain. That's what I think. Because, mate, he does not think. He gets the ball. His eyes are like that, wide open.
You're being too harsh.
I don't think I am, mate. Every game, I don't think he's had a good game.
Every game.
I don't know, mate.
He's not every game.
I think most games this season he's played, he's been not good enough.
If I'm honest, when you look at Ben Johnson, and you look at him, when Ben Johnson come in last year in that little run of games, we played Everton, Tottenham,
he was unbeaten,
Villa. He was. I thought. I don't know what Ben Johnson's done not to play. I think Coufal's been awful since the Arsenal game. If I'm honest, when he got sent off against Arsenal in December, I think he's been shambolic, like in his way, like. But he don't get a mention because he's Coufal, isn't it?
And everyone loves him because he was cheap, and I don't know, he's Czech, and he probably likes potato salad as well.
Yeah, he's hard.
I don't know. He does, but like there's hard, and then there's like just not using your brain, and I just don't think he's using his brain at the moment. Right. He has a brain.
Right. Dan and Jase, give me a rating for Coufal. You gone 4, yeah?
I'm saying 3.
I was like 4.
That was his worst performance of the season for me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dan, on that one, 100%. I'll say a 3 also. I think he's been terrible, really bad. Mitch, what about you?
I'd say it's his second worst. What was his one a couple of weeks ago where he was really, really bad? Was it Leeds, I think?
Yeah,
Leeds, I think he was really bad that game. I think slightly worse than today. But today was awful as well. I'd give him a 3.
God.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, mate, like even defensively, like he's putting his foot in, and players will just, was it Barnes just running him around? He could not do. His part, I like to see his pass accuracy actually, because that must be shocking. I'd like to get that stat up.
I know that Dan and Jase have a little game of whoever wins has to do a shot, so we'll move on.
Listen,
one up.
So I got one shot already, right? One shot. I'll do it at the end of your shot.
Next up is this man, Aaron Cresswell. Bad day at the office for him. Dan and Jase, what do you reckon?
Nah, it was bad, wasn't it? It was a real poor game because he come back and he sort of looked a bit like the old Aaron Cresswell, but he's really started to dip lately. His delivery, something that he's known for being very good with, was poor today. He's defending. I think that second goal, even though it was Diop's man, but he comes in, he's got to be stronger, I think, defending for that second goal. Weren't as bad as Coufal. But he was poor. I mean, I would go for.
I would go for as well.
You just don't want to do a shot, do you? That's right.
No, he wasn't.
Oh fuck!
No, he wasn't.
That's why you let me go first, wasn't it?
No, he wasn't. He was everything about him today. Was the fullbacks were just the worst out of
they were.
Everyone,
The fullbacks.
The fullbacks were just terrible.
Can I ask both of you before I hand it over to Mitchell? What was he thinking on that first goal, that penalty? Like he jumps up, he moves his head. His hand.
It's tough one. He's doing that, but usually you do. The thing is, when I think back on it, usually you do that when you've got a player there. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you're trying to block the player, and you're jumping up. But there wasn't. He just sort of did it.
The best thing though, he went like that, right? And he went as well. So I don't know.
It's really funny. It's like a dance we were saying.
Yeah, it was like I don't know what.
Yeah.
The thing is, it would be, you could say, because he gave the penalty, he gets marked down. But I have to look at him on the balance of the whole game. He wasn't as bad as Coufal on the balance of the game. So that's what I say. That was crazy.
Mitch, what about you, sir?
This man, I remember actually right at the start of the season, I got a lot of stick for saying I just don't think Cresswell's good enough, and I've said it on your channel as well, James. That I just think because he's a lot better than Masuaku, which ain't hard to be, people think he's great, which I just don't think he is. I think he's a very average left back. Now, last season he was fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but still had his flaws, especially defensively where he gets beaten. I think his height is sometimes a problem. His lack of physicality. He's just too slow a lot of the times. He really struggles going forward now a lot more. He's great on his crossings from set pieces, but when it comes to crossing from open play, he just can't do it. He gets blocked. His crosses get blocked, I think, 9 times out of 10 when he tries to whip in the ball from open play.
3 people forget that, I think. Like, is that 33? Yeah, he's like 32, 33. Yeah.
No, and I get that, and I'm not saying that.
No, I'm saying that's why we need to do left.
Yeah, we do
left back at his club. 100%.
Someone told me we don't, because we got Cresswell. I said we need a left back. We got Cresswell. So, Cresswell can just stay for years and years, play left back.
I'll say a little thing as well. I think sometimes the reason why our fullbacks, and this may come across quite harsh, but why our fullbacks get a lot of assists maybe each season and are up there is because that's the only way we play now. We don't play through the middle. We just cross balls in for fun. And we've got a lot of height in our team, especially we scored loads from last season, but this season as well. We've got a tactic where we've got loads of tall players, loads of tall boys. So it doesn't really matter who's crossing it in. If you just put in an okay cross, you're going to score a decent amount of goals from set pieces anyway, I think. I think Bowen's a better crosser, to be honest, at the moment than Cresswell. And I think, who crossed the ball in for Dawson to stay up? Was it Bowen or Cresswell?
Bowen.
It was Bowen.
Yeah. So what do you rate him, Mitch? Give me a rating for Cresswell. I know he's not your favourite.
4. I think 4.
Full house tonight because I'm on a 4-0. I think.
Yeah, not good enough.
I think the first goal is schoolboy defending. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's got some invisible defender there that he's trying to defend. The second one, he gets outdone by Pereira, and that's not good at all. He's just bad day at the office for him. Simple fact of the matter from me in regards of him. Moving on to Mitchell's favourite player, Issa Diop. Now this, right, is going to be interesting, especially on Mitchell's front. Right, 100%. So I'm going to start off with Mitchell on this one. Go ahead, Mitchell. Take it away.
Copy Mitchell.
It hurts. It hurts. I know it sounds bad because obviously I do want every player at West Ham to do well. I don't know. Do I actually? I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
Why would you?
Okay. This is what I feel. I feel that Diop should never play. I wouldn't even started him ever again. Not even cup games. I just don't think he's anywhere good enough, and I just wouldn't. I'd just rather. I've said this multiple times. I'd rather have integrated the youth centre halves, Lawless and Baptiste in the cup games or the games that didn't mean much last month and in December. I would have got one of them next to a senior player and tried to see how they play because I just don't think Diop is good enough. Well, it's not even that he's good enough. I think.
But what did he do today, though, Mitch?
He's done well today. But I don't think it was excellent. I thought he gave away a lot of sloppy passes still, if I'm being honest. And like,
I think he handled that. Today.
He did do well. He did defend very well today, much better than he's used to. He wasn't like Bambi nice like he usually was. Today he stood strong, and I thought he defended very well.
Give me a rating, Mitch.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. I'm thinking 7 or 8. I'd probably be sick if I said 8, but it'd probably have to be an 8 because I think he's probably the best player. I'll give him an 8.
Dan and Jase, take it away.
I thought he played well today. He got an assist today as well. He played really well. 8. He definitely got an 8 today, I would say. Everything I couldn't see any not many mistakes today.
Do you know what?
Not many mistakes.
I'm glad you brought that because I forgot the ball we played into Bowen.
Yeah, I got it.
Was
a quality. For someone who
did he mean it?
Don't matter. He done it.
Come on, Mitch. Come on.
It don't matter, Mitch. He done it.
I actually spoke to him FaceTime after the game. He told me he didn't mean it. So.
Pissed off.
For someone,
how the fuck did he not mean that?
For someone who is so bad at passing, and he did misplace some passes today. That was a good ball.
No, it was good. He was good today. He was good.
I do put him massively at fault for the second goal. He did lose his mandate. Whose fault?
I disagree.
Whose fault?
I disagree.
Whose fault then?
So if I let the cross come in too easy as well, fault.
Who foul? Yeah,
I thought it was the fullback's fault, to be honest.
I would say Cresswell the second.
Cresswell.
Yeah, but Cresswell comes in late. If you look at it, Diop's on him and he loses it, and then Cresswell runs in to try and salvage it, but he's not strong enough. I feel like
I would like to see it again. Actually.
You got to watch it again. And this is the thing, I was really giving a lot of credit to Diop. But, yeah, so like I said, the assist, he was solid. Passing him down. Yeah, an 8, 7.5. We're doing 0.5.
No, Dan, no sitting on the fence, son. So we're 7 or 8.
It hurts me. If I had the option of 7.5, trust me, I would have done that.
0.5 is nothing.
I think...
For the assist, I give him an 8.
I think you have to give him an 8 today because the reason being he's come in for Zuma like 20 minutes before the game starts. He puts in a great performance. He handled Daka very, very well. Very well. Like Daka was quiet all game. And I think he was all right, mate. Considering how bad he usually is, it was like a massive upgrade today. So simple rating for me.
It gives me hope for Diop.
No. No.
Shut up, Midfield. Listen.
Get me out of here. I can't do this.
Don't do that, Jase.
Listen to me, Mitchell. There's hope there. There's hope.
There's no hope. There's no hope with him.
How can you say no?
That's his first Premier League performance this season. How many games he started this season in the Premier League? 16? Every single one of them has been shocking.
Mitchell. There's hope there. Right? Why has he got to work with him?
Because Jose Mourinho said that he's a beast 4 years ago.
Jase, stop winding him up. Jase, stop winding him up.
Yeah, actually, okay, go on, sorry. Go on, Jase. Go on.
He's got cat flu and all that, Zuma. Right? He might be out for a little while. Let's have hope here. Hope.
Yeah.
Mitch, you can't just throw him out the field. You can't do that to him.
I would, though. I would.
Why?
I would have sold him in
100%.
January for 7 million. If
Give him a chance,
to
Mitch.
Newcastle.
Give him a chance, Mitch. Moving on.
We have done
This
for 3 years, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, we have. But
It's getting worse and worse. He's not even getting
potential there.
better.
There was potential today.
Oh,
don't get him started on Diop.
John Malenko scored the under 23s. He's got potential now.
He pulled his socks up today. He pulled his socks up today.
Listen, right? Don't get
I
me
think we
started.
started
on Diop.
Malenko at striker. He scored in the under 23s.
Alright, listen, get the Amalenko one. Get the Amalenko. I'm joking.
Moving on to Dawson. Jase and Dan, what do you reckon? He saved the day.
Solid. Comes up with the equaliser.
Solid as a rock.
Solid in defence. And this was the thing. And that's also, it's not so much I have a problem with Diop and Dawson individually, right? I think it's when they play together, that's what terrifies me.
Yeah.
And they both played together today. And they were both like solid. And I can't. He didn't really put much of a. I didn't really see him put a real foot wrong. The big problem is, and it's not even. It's probably not Dawson's fault. But usually when he gets on the ball, he likes to play these long balls.
Yeah.
He plays the long balls all the time that just end up coming back at us. But he comes in with that equaliser, header, solid at the back. I have to say,
It was shoulder though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but no, it was on the, because they say it was above the sleeve. There's the above sleeve rule. He comes in. Look, I can't say he was worse than Diop.
No,
he was, like I said, he was solid. You got to go. I have to say 8. If Diop's an 8,
yeah.
Dawson's an 8.
I'll give him 8. He was outstanding today. Dawson was outstanding today. I couldn't fault him today.
Mitchell's going to have to give him like a
Mitchell's
20.
Mitchell's gone. You've
upset him.
He's had enough.
He's
had enough.
You upset him.
He's had enough. Mitch.
What?
Sorry.
Yeah. Mitch,
Sorry.
give me a rating out of 10 for Dawson and performance today, mate.
Very solid. I love Craig. Look, we all know what he is. He's a bench player, really. But he's been playing well recently. Solid. Proud of him. Good old Craig. Got a bit lucky with the goal, to be honest. 7. I think 7.
Also, he went
7.
He went up
What do you think?
as well at the end of
Yeah, what was that? Was that point where Antonio is deep, kicking balls out to Dawson?
I couldn't believe that, Dan. Don't get me started on Antonio. I can't wait to hear my go on Antonio because I'm going to rip him a new one.
What do you
Mitch,
boys give him, Antonio?
not yet. We'll get onto that in a minute. Dawson for me.
Not Dawson, I meant Dawson, sorry.
The lads give him an 8. You've given him a 7. I'm going to give him an 8. I think the goal's key. I think he was a better striker than Mikel Antonio today. And Mikel Antonio played up there for 90 minutes. That's no joke. So, yeah, easy 8 for him. Moving on to this man, Thomas Souček, another man who's fell off the edge of a cliff. Lads, Dan and Jase, what's going on with Thomas Souček?
His legs is like jelly. His legs are jelly. He can't fucking pass a ball to save his life.
Where's that face?
He can't. I'm disgusted by him. I am. Right. He was terrible today. He was terrible today. Right. He was poor. Everything about him was poor today. Okay. He just couldn't do anything today. Right. And he was lucky to be in that squad today. Amount of players that we had not in full. He was terrible. Right.
So what are you saying then?
5.
How are you going to say all of that? Give him a 5. 5 is average.
5 is not average.
That is, it's average. 5 is in the middle.
Jase, I was not expecting a 5 at you there, mate.
6 is standard. 6 is standard.
What is wrong with this guy?
I've been
nice. Not been the squad. Disgusting.
You said he's disgusted by him. He's lucky. Nothing.
It was poor.
So how is he getting a 5, which means in the middle?
It's not. The middle. 6 is standard.
What's half of 10?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. 5
I get what Jase means. Fair.
5 is poor.
Right. Look, he was very poor today. Passing was all over the place. Was getting done in the midfield there. Losing the ball. Very poor game. Dreadful. He gets a 10.
10.
No, he gets a 4. 4 for Souček. Very poor.
He's
a 4.
Yes. 4.
It's a 4.
Before I move on to Mitchell, I need to ask you, though, what has happened to Thomas Souček, though? Because he hasn't been the same player as he was last season. What do you make of it, Dan?
You know what? He's had that. He had them moments, right? Because he started to. There was a few games. I can't remember the game where he started to get. Oh, sorry, Mitch. But he started to get forward more. Like he started to attack more. And I guess him and Rice probably don't know who's going forward. Is that? I don't know if the communication's gone. Rice wants to get forward more, but Souček's role. I don't know. There's probably something to do with that.
What about you, Jase? What do you reckon? The reason why Souček's not the same player?
It's exactly what Dan's just said there. Like they don't know. It's communication is just dying out there, right? And then everyone was saying like Rice needs to stay back, Souček needs to go forward, but he was poor today. He was poor. It was so miscommunication. Everything was just going wrong in the middle of that field, and it was disgusting to see.
It was bad. It was bad. Mitch, take it away, mate. He's the player that you. Every time I do the player ratings with you, you criticise this man quite a lot, and I can understand the reason why you do that.
Yeah, to be honest, mate, I think I'm finished with Souček. To be honest, mate, he's really, he's no. It sounds quite silly, but it's not, because I just don't think he's actually that great of a footballer. If I'm being honest, I just think when we so struggle to break teams down, we cannot break teams down, and he just does not help in that whatsoever. He's funny, sounds rude, but he's actually anti-football. He just like however you may deem anti-football is up to you, but he just can't pass the ball to save his fucking life. He can't. Oh, mate, what winds me up the most is when he gets the ball and he starts running down the channels. He starts running down the wing. Like, I go, here we go. And actually, every time I'm with someone when I'm watching the game, I go, let's see what happens here. I look away. I go, let's see what happens here. I go, oh, have they got it yet? They've got it. There we go. The opposition team. Because, mate, it happens every time. I just think Souček. I don't think he actually suits the way we play anymore, like this, especially this season. And I think the way we play is it's good at a lot of times, but I don't get it. We've put loads and loads of balls in the box, so many crosses every game. It's the only way we play now. And he's just not picking up the goals.
I will say one thing though, Mitch. I will say one thing. We put a lot of crosses in the box. Don't mean to say they're good crosses though. I must say that. I think the crosses are shocking this year. Yeah, massively.
I just don't think we should be crossing the ball at all. And this is obviously we'll come to more later in more in depth, but we need to change up the way we play, mate. I really think we do. It's the same old every game in a minute. It's actually quite boring to watch, I think.
Give me a rating,
especially
Mitch,
last game.
Check.
I'll give him a 4. For me, next season, I think he needs to take a step back, go to the bench, and come off the bench as an impact player, as a plan B, because I just don't think going forward, if Rice is to stay at the club, I think Rice deserves a really good passing, good ball playing midfielder alongside him.
Who do we get?
There's so many players out there, mate. I'd love Ward-Prowse.
Yeah. Oh, mind him.
Give me a player.
I said Ward-Prowse.
Ward-Prowse, yeah.
Ward-Prowse.
When you look at Tillemans today, and then you look at him, it was like night and day, wasn't it? Between the pair of them.
I don't like Tillemans. I think he's got a bit of an attitude. I don't know. He's a bit of a strange player. He's a very good player, very talented, but I don't know if he's a Moyes kind of player. I think Ward-Prowse would slot into our team straight away.
Oh, don't get me started on Moyes. I'll get to him later at all. I'll give him a 4, Souček. I will. Poor. I agree with everything what all the boys have just said. Passing poor, awareness poor, tackling poor. He was poor. Not good enough. Sadly. Yeah. It was moving on to this man, Declan Rice, captain. Not vintage today, but still very good. Dan and Jase, take it away.
Come on, Jase.
You know what, Rice? He wasn't too bad today, to be honest.
Yeah.
He didn't really see much of him now. That was the thing, but he was getting in the positions that you need to get in there. He was doing what he needs to do. He was going up front when he needed to be the number 8 type of player.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay.
A 7.
7. Right. I'm disagreeing with that. No, it was poor for his standards today. He didn't really control the midfield as much as, you would like. He weren't really. I mean, they were bypassing us quite a lot and getting behind him, and I have to judge Rice by Rice's standards, and today he was nowhere near it. In fact, going forward, he wasn't as influential going forward as he usually is. So for Rice, I have to say he gets a 6 for me for a Declan Rice. Not terrible, just a little bit above because he is that level, but yeah, it's not Rice levels.
It is an interesting one. I'll take this one. I'll leave Mitchell till last on this one. I agree with what both of you just said there. Because it's like a 6 or a 7, isn't it? It's like bang in the middle of it, really. He weren't vintage today, and you're right, Dan. He was going for our midfield all the time. I'll give Rice. Yeah, I'll give him a 7 because it's Declan Rice and what he's done over the season. But he weren't vintage.
Ratings for Leicester.
Yeah,
you can't.
I know.
He's worth a 7.
I think that's just a standard performance from him, though, isn't it? Let's be honest. That's the lowest you're ever going to give Rice for a performance. I feel, but I think you give him a 6.
There was once or 2 times he did do a tackle here and there.
He did do a tackle.
He did a very good tackle. I don't know. I agree.
He did get booked also, but that's another story. But Mitch, what do you make of him?
Oh, I love him. I want to have kids with him. The man. That's what I make him. No, I actually thought it was all right today. Obviously, not his most influential self. I think a 7 as well. I agree with Jase. I think, I think a 7's fair.
I think you said about Diop, yeah? You really? You're gonna agree with him after that.
But I think a 7. I think it was all right. This is what's sad because I think if Souček played the way Rice did today, we'd be saying that's Souček's best game all season. I'm not even joking. Like that's the difference in quality between Rice and Souček. This was one of Rice's poorest games of the season, and if Souček played that way, it'd been one of his best games of the season. I think 7. I still think it was alright. Putting I think a couple big challenges. His passing was still good. Controlled the ball all right. Yeah, I thought he'd done the job.
So 7 for Mitchell. Moving on to this man. Manuel Lanzini replaced Benrahma today. Dan and Jase, thoughts?
I'll be interested in what you think.
Because I'll be honest with you, before you start, this is the one that irritated me massively. Because I thought it was very harsh to be brought in.
But the thing is, he come on against Watford and he made a big impact. I thought. Come on.
Yeah.
I thought so. I can see why he came in. And today, do you know what? Actually, I didn't think he was one of our worst players. Like really, going forward, I thought he was better than Fornals. I thought he did try and get things going. And things. He's a smaller player. Sometimes you can get the physicality. Sometimes you get out muscle, but his work rate, always trying to find a pass forward. Where a lot of our players passing sideways and backwards. So I can't look at him and say, do you know what, Lanzini had a bad game. He had like an okay game. So really and truly, I have to give him a 7 because if Rice is getting a 7, because Rice didn't really make many big mistakes, but I can't remember. I can't really think back to anything bad, considerably that Lanzini did. And Lanzini, it's weird since these later days of Moyes, he's been less like a creative number 10. And Moyes hasn't been playing a lot deeper a lot of the time and getting in and picking up the ball from deep. So it's not like, he didn't create this many chances. It's like, that's not even his role anymore, funnily enough. It seems to be to create these clear-cut chances because of how he started to play with this sort of deeper role. So, I have to give him a 7. Like, if Rice is a 7, I have to really give Lanzini a 7. I don't think he was the biggest problem forward.
You gave Rice a 6, Dan. You gave Rice a 6.
Oh yeah, I did give Rice a 6, didn't I? I give him a 6 because I was going back. I gave Rice a 6.
You got it wrong.
Oh, stop. What are you saying? Come on.
You know what? Right? Not Rice. What's his name?
Lanzini.
Lanzini. He put in the work today. He did his job that Moyes told him to do, basically. And basically, he was all right. He was all right. You know, he was getting in there. He was getting in the box. He was trying his best at everything he could do, but he just couldn't. He just couldn't get that. He just couldn't get that final ball in there. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't blame him for that because I blame Antonio for that. I blame what's the other one? I blame the other winger as well. I can't remember his name.
He's had a lot of podcasts tonight.
I don't blame Jared Bowen because Jared Bowen was brilliant today. But Pablo Fornals, that was it.
Well, what number? Give him a number.
7. I'll give him a 7 as well. I'll give him a 7.
God, dear, you boys are being very polite. I can't give him a 7, man.
No.
I can't. I just cannot do it. I'm going to give him a 5. That's me being. Yeah, I've got to give him a 5, Jason, Dan, and Mitch, and everyone in the chat. Listen, I'll tell you the reason why I'll give him a 5. First 20 minutes was very good. I thought West Ham played all right. They controlled it. Towards the end of the half, they'd done nothing. He wasn't really I don't remember Schmeichel making loads of saves or in creating anything. Second half, we got absolutely dominated. And it was only because the last 10 minutes when changes were made, then we looked a lot better. I can't give him a 7 because he got subbed also. And I just don't see it. I just don't see a 7. So for me, I thought it was just a standard performance. I don't think Lanzini should be starting games. I think he's a last 20-minute man. I've always said that. He's better when when teams are tired and he has to come out and pass them balls through the lines when teams are knackered, basically. So, yeah, it's a 5 for me. Mitch, what do you reckon?
I think you're harsh, if I'm being honest. I think I'd give him a 6 today. I think I listened to everything you said. I agree. I still think he kept things simple going forward. I think it was slick. It was still quite sharp. He did get stuck in on some good tackles and progressed us forward a couple times. Not very often, in all fairness. Yeah, I thought he'd done all right. Today. He just kept it simple. Not much to say really. Didn't really get on the ball that much. Yeah, I think 6. That's all I can say, really, mate.
6 out of 10, and the boys have gone for 6s and 7s, and I've gone for 5. Don't hate me in the chat. Moving on to this man, Pablo Fornals. Dan and Jase, this is going to be an interesting one because I thought he was all right. He was okay. What did you make of him?
Do you know what? To me, when I was watching the game, I was looking at substitutions. He was the one I wanted to come off.
Yeah, I agree.
Benrahma or Vlasic. I was looking, and obviously, he went double sub. But if I was looking at, I was thinking, like, okay, he's not going to make a double sub. Go for Fornals. I didn't really see him do much in the game today. I can't really think of anything he really done. Obviously, I think he drew a couple of fouls. He gave away a couple of fouls. To me, it was sort of standard, like 5. To me, it's a 5. Just like blur, meh performance. Nothing too memorable. Nothing too impactful. Nothing too terrible. I can't think of anything horrendous that he done. I think he's just like, it's forgettable.
But that's the problem, man. That's the problem. He didn't remember him at all in the whole game.
Okay.
He didn't remember him.
Okay.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Then he didn't do nothing.
No, he did something.
What
Obviously, he made passes, didn't he? He made passes.
I don't remember.
He put pressure.
Yeah,
like,
a couple of decent passes.
Come on, what are you saying?
What did you give him?
I gave him a 5.
I was going to give him a 5.
No, you can't give him a 5 and shit on my 5. Go on, you got to give him less than a 5. You said he did nothing, so you should give him a 0.
He didn't do nothing.
Give him a 0.
No, I'm not giving him a 0. He's not going to give him a 0. That's too harsh.
All right.
Not Arsenal.
All right, you're saying.
What are you saying, Jase?
I'm saying a 4. He wasn't great, to be honest, mate. He wasn't great. It was the wrong decision to put him on
the same level as Coufal and Cresswell.
It should have been Jared Bowen, Benrahma, Lanzini, and Antonio. Right.
So giving him 4. Same rating as Coufal, yeah?
Yeah, you're giving the same as Coufal.
Coufal was, you know what I mean? Coufal was Pablo Fornals.
Where's that? Yeah, so he said 4, I say 5.
He said 4, 5. I'm going to say, I agree to a point what Dan was saying there. What did he really do? He passes the ball well. He's not my most favourite player, don't get me wrong. I think he's a decent player, but I think there's better players in that position who we could get at West Ham to do a better job than Fornals. He works hard, I understand that. Today, what did he really do? Not a lot. I'll give him a 5. I've got to agree on that. Standard. Nothing vintage, got subbed. 5 for me. Mitch, take it away.
I thought first half he actually played quite well, actually. I thought his passing going forward was decent. No sloppy passes, kept it simple. Used his body well, I think. I remember once to win the ball. I thought first half he actually looked quite good. I think he played a bit more central, probably performance worthy of a 6 or 7. And then second half, I thought he just went to shit. I thought there was many times a good pass was on, and his passing was sloppy. Just had no influence in the game whatsoever, and I thought actually was bad. And you call on your attackers to make, especially him. He's the one player that his main attribute is his passing, so he should have that good quality final ball. And in the second half, they had no influence whatsoever. So I think a 5 for me, just not good enough. He's a strange player, Fornals. I think there's so many games, mate, where like he's excellent. He'll come on and play sublime. Liverpool, I think last week, he came on against Kidderminster. Obviously, I know it was only Kidderminster, but he was brilliant when he came on. And then games like this, he just has no impact on. He's a very strange player, Fornals. I don't know how to feel about him, to be honest. Sometimes he's great, sometimes he's just shit.
You just never know what you're going to get.
Real quick, guys. What rating did Jase give Fornals?
4.
Thank you. That's 4 shots for you. It was. Stop lying. 4 shots for you, mate.
Jase is on the shots. Moving on to this man. For me, and I'm going to start off with this one myself. I think this geezer he's carrying this club at the present. I said it a long time ago. I said if he takes his chances, he becomes a very, very top class player, and he is. He works hard. He tackles. The tackle he done in what was it? I can't remember. He tackled in the Leicester box, got the ball, run up the pitch, and yeah, he's absolutely top draw. I think he was our best player by a country mile, especially in the attacking sense. I'm going to give him. I don't know whether to give him 8 or 9. I'll give him a very, very high 8, just not a 9. I think if we win the game, he gets a 9 for me, but it's a very, very high 8. I love this kid. Top class. Dan and Jase, take it away.
Yeah, do you know what? It's like, I agree with you, James. I thought best player. But the only reason I can't really give him a 9 is we didn't create that many chances in the game. We didn't have that many attempts on goal, that many shots on target, all of that stuff. For me to say, okay, Bowen really tested the keeper. I'm not putting that blame on Bowen, but for me, he worked his ass off. He took his goal brilliantly, great finish. But for me to go 9, I have to see. Okay, he was just a constant threat up top. But because
he did get the assist though, didn't he, Dan? We keep forgetting that.
Oh yeah, you got to give him that. Yeah, you got to give him the assist as well. But I just thought because we as a team wasn't a constant threat up top.
Yeah, so I agree that
he wasn't a constant threat up top. So that's why I like you said. I say high 8. I can't really dip into that 9 because of the team performance as a whole.
I completely agree with everything that you said there.
Don't want to do any more shots.
No, he's a high 8. He was tactical. He was just doing what he was doing. Really, the best at the moment. He's actually our best. On form. He's our best player at the moment.
Which is mad to say when you got Rice doing Rice.
And he's our best player at the moment, and he's putting in the work, man. Putting in the work. Everything he does, putting in the work.
Yeah.
I agree. Mitchell, is it 8s all round, or you gone something else?
I'm going 8 as well, and I don't think 9. I think 9 is. For me, I didn't even consider 9 to be fair. I think 9 is an outstanding performance where he's great the whole game and he's a constant threat. Because 9 is he's top class. He was good today. His finish was excellent. The way he controlled the ball, and placed it. I thought it was superb. Timed his run to absolute perfection. Fantastic. And his cross for the goal. Obviously, that was great as well. It's a goal and assist for him today. He played very well in those two bits, but I don't think it had too much of an impact on the game. Defensively, I thought it was superb in terms of his work rate, but I just don't think he saw much of the ball going forward. So, yeah, but I don't think any attackers did, because the way we played today, it's just same old boys tactics. I just don't like the way we're playing in the attacks at the moment. I would have liked him to kind of get in around the box a bit more, maybe on the edge of the area, had a few more shots, but he played in a more system kind of way today. He played for the team. Good performance, 8.
Yeah, 10. Moving on to a man who ain't getting definitely an 8. This man, Mikel. I like to take long throw-ins and drift wide, left, right, and centre. And
he can't take long, and he can't take long throw-ins, by the way, anymore.
Players.
Yeah,
it's
shocking.
I do not know, right, what people. I see people defending him. I just want to say this quickly. I see people defending him, and I understand he's been here a long time. He's been here about 7, 8 years, I think it is, right? And I understand it to a point, but then there comes a time where you've got to look at him and go, he's not really cutting it, right? And we need him to start performing. And he hasn't performed for a long, long time in a West Ham shirt. Like, he's been to Jamaica and scored goals. He's got a new contract, and he just isn't cutting it at all in the slightest. I'll start off with Dan and Jase on this one. Take it away, lads. What do you think?
He was terrible today. He was absolutely terrible. Everything he did was terrible. He couldn't pass anything. He couldn't pass. He couldn't shoot. He couldn't do anything today. And what's happening at Jamaica and all that, it's affecting him badly, really badly affecting him. And you can see he's just tired. He looks tired, doesn't he, Dan? Yeah. He looks tired.
His body language.
He's not the same player as he is. And I don't understand.
The travel schedule for them for Jamaica is crazy, because you're going around the Caribbean, you're going to America, you're going South America, then you're coming back, like with us. Obviously, if you count since the Euros, he's been going around Europe. Like, we've got
he still had a decent break though. We didn't play against Kidderminster. He had that break then.
Yeah, but then towards the end of it, he went to the Jamaica games, didn't he? Yeah. Towards the break, he went just before Kidderminster. Actually,
he's literally not the player he was.
Let me ask you. Right, let me ask you this. I'm going to ask all you before I get all your ratings. When was the last time Mikel Antonio? What was the best Mikel Antonio performance that you've seen? The last time out.
The last time
I saw
Antonio.
I'm trying to think. Actually, no. Maybe after that.
Watford, isn't it? Is it Watford? Watford, Crystal Palace. I think it was one of them ones. I can't remember.
Watford away.
Watford away. I don't think so. He didn't score a goal.
I'm not Antonio's biggest fan.
I think he was more. I remember. Yeah, he didn't score, but I remember watching that game and thinking, you know what? Yeah, I think didn't he? And he was a little bit more influential, but he weren't obviously up to his levels. But he was a lot better. I didn't look at him and say, do you know what? He was poor, and the team carried him. He was decent, but it's been a long time. He's been a long time, and you know, it's just disappointing, really and truly. But the schedule, like, even though, like you said, he had a break, but think that he didn't even get a break because he had them Jamaica games. We played Kidderminster Sunday, Watford at home Tuesday, so he didn't even really get that much time off, really, a week off. So it's about no competition. He wants competition. He said it himself. There's no one pushing him. We can't drop the guy. There's nothing there for him to push him on, like, and that's the big problem. So, I mean, you didn't even rate him, by the way.
He was nowhere to be seen today. He was literally like nothing at all. Nothing at all. He's a 3 today. 3.
Yeah, do you know what? I completely agree with that rating today. Part of me was like 2. Like, I was really annoyed with him, but I can't go 3 because that's harsh, because we didn't really create enough going forward. But the type of player that we need now with Moyes' style isn't just a striker that's just going to stand up there waiting for crosses, waiting for chances. He's got to be able to pick the ball up for deep, run, take players on. Like, he doesn't seem to have the confidence to take players on in 1-on-1, or the ability or the legs to be able to, when you're getting in them situations. There was a few times where he got in, like, 2-on-1s situation, right? Him and a couple of others, if he can just take it, or if he's a bit quicker or a bit more decisive, he could have had that confidence to go round the player, but he just wasn't doing it. And that's the big problem. And I think Antonio not being at the race is the big problem for us, because it's our focal point. It's someone leading the line that drives us. And we miss an Antonio or a Nanautovic that's up to standard. And he just wasn't. So I got to agree with 3. I'm just been disappointed, but it just goes back to why we got a striker.
Yeah. For me, I've got to give him a 2. I have to. I can't give him a 3. I thought it was absolutely shambolic. And the reason why I'm giving him a 2 is because he put the shirt on when he turned up at the King Power today. He does nothing. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to be critical of Antonio because he's been there a long time. But what does he really give? Like, he works hard. He can't hold the ball up. He falls over his own feet. He gets nudged. He's on the.
What is that? He's been doing that a lot every week, slipping over, falling over. Like, what is that?
And it's just, for me, it just seems like, to me, he's just not bothered. Like, because I think what you just said, Dan, you're right. The window is key. If we had a striker in there and he ain't performing, he's gonna he needs to kick up the arse, really. And he hasn't got that, so he can just perform any way he likes. He knows he's going to get away with murder. I just thought today, what was insulting is we need a goal. It's the 89th minute, and he's taking a long throw in. He throws it in, it don't even get past the first man. I mean, it's like, what's going on? So yeah, it has to be a 2 for me. He's not bad right back, good cross, and that's about it. But other than that, shambolic. Mitchell, take it away.
Yeah, he's not good enough, mate. He's simply not good enough. Even when he's on top form, I don't think he has a really good. He's just never consistent. There's never a season where he's had one season where he's been good from start to finish. I think the only season where he was first season at the London Stadium when he was our top scorer. He scored, I think, 10 or 11 goals. But he's a completely different player to what he was then. He's a lot slower now. He's got leggier. He's stronger. Mate, do you remember when he used to rise? He used to really leap up. He used to really leap. He used to jump really high, get on the end of crosses, and score a lot of headed goals. He's just. I think unfit. Obviously, he's a big lump. I just think he just needs to shed some pounds. To be honest, I think he needs to get leaner again, because I think that would help him in terms of his slight lack of pace nowadays, and his sharpness in terms of turning, and his confidence. It would give him more confidence, I think, if he knew he was a bit quicker, because I don't think he uses his body that well. Like, for as big a lump he is, he falls over all the time. And Dan said it. Like, I completely agree. He just falls over all the time. So based on today's performance, I actually thought first half he was actually quite good. I thought he was actually quite good, and I know it may sound crazy. I was just kind of listening to it, thinking, I don't know, because I thought first half the way he ran, he done some good running. I think the chance we created for himself, he was running. I thought he done all right first half. Second half was a completely different story. In all fairness, he was shocking second half. Just the runs he was making, no effect on the game whatsoever. Didn't press their defenders or the goalkeeper. Purely down to his lack of fitness. But I thought first half, I think because of that, I'm going to give him a 4. I'm going to give Antonio a 4 today.
4 out of 10 for Mitchell. Moving on swiftly.
That's a higher 4. I think Coufal and Cresswell were both worse.
I've got before we sort of move on, I have got to disagree on that 4 though. I will say that, because I look at him and I think we played well in the first half. We can all agree here, sitting here, saying that we played well.
Was decent in the first half.
Yeah, first 20 minutes we was decent, but then what did we do after? I don't really remember Schmeichel having to make saves or anything really. And if we would have went in at half time 1-0, which we should have done, it would have been West Ham have scored and contained Leicester, and that's it. Like, he hasn't done anything. But this is building up with Antonio, because people are seeing him and going, well, what's going on here? Like, he's the main vocal point, and he's all right going on Twitter and saying, oh yeah, well, not today and all that, but we move again and all that. But what does he do? Do you know what I mean? Now, if someone thinks I'm being harsh, I'd like to understand what they're saying.
It is. I suppose it is because. Do you know what? I think a big problem is, and we've heard this saying before, but we haven't really and truly been playing to his strengths in the way of getting the ball down the channels quickly. Our counter attacking and our build up play is so slow from defense to midfield, where we stop, pass back, have to think about it. Where are we going? Where you see a player is making space and going wide open, you're passing back. By the time we get the ball up to Antonio, he's got about 2-3 defenders around him. Right? And that is
what do you class him as, Dan? Do you class him as a target man? Or do you class him like... Because what is Antonio's description? Because he's not a centre forward, is he? Like, he's like... I don't know what
striker. I'd say he's a striker. It's a normal striker.
But he's because he can't hold the ball up. Because he keeps losing the ball.
The thing is, he's great at playing on the shoulder. He's great at that, like muscling out, and you get the ball through. He'll outrun that last defender, bang, put it in. Yeah, you whip them balls around. We've seen him. He can play ball. He can assist as well. But but he also can on his best day, if you play in a ball where he can hold it up to his chest, maybe knock it down, pass it someone. So he has them different attributes. But the problem is our slow and lethargic build-up play completely just takes a lot of his strengths out of the game with them fast twitch muscles that he can have to just be on his toes and outrun a defender.
So we haven't seen that for a long time now.
Yeah, but that's the problem. And as much as he has been poor, the way we've been playing, it's just so like counter-attacking was one of our biggest strengths. And now I feel like I'm watching Pellegrini team again. It's just pass, back, side, back, forward, back. It's so frustrating to watch. So I can't truly just go all in on it. As frustrating as it is, as he was so good, the play.
You know what though? Right? We're not playing him as what he should be. He's a goal poacher.
Yeah.
He's literally. In the box. You get him in the box, and he can fucking score those goals, right?
Yeah, the only goal he scored outside.
I'd class him as a forward. Actually,
the problem is, right, they just keep fucking playing him out in the wide all the time, though. That's the problem.
He chooses that. He chooses to do that.
He drifts. He's like fucking Tokyo Drift. He is. You know what I mean? He's just on the side all the time.
Well, I could leave him in Tokyo at a minute, but moving on to the subs, let's start off with Fredericks, this man. He comes on for Coufal. He dealt with the situation with Barnes. He misplaced a pass from Rice or lack of control. Dan and Jase, what do you reckon? How do you think he coped with Barnes when he come on?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's got more pace on him, and he's got more pace about him. But once again, like I said, he's passing. It cost us against Man United. When he come on then, and today, it wasn't really that lift. It's only because he wasn't as bad as Coufal was. That you can really and truly say that he weren't terrible. But I can't give him more than a 5.
I got 5 as well. I didn't see nothing from him. When he came on, it was just the same old shit.
Same old shit.
I'm going to agree with both of you there. Simple 5 for me. Same old Fredericks. Mitch, what do you reckon?
Yeah, 5 as well.
5.
No, nothing to say really. No impact on the game. Yeah, 5.
Fair enough, mate. Moving on to this man, Vlasic. The most expensive signing in the summer window.
He's
Dan
like
and
a plain
Jase.
Jane.
What do you reckon? He is.
I like Vlasic. He calls him Fatsic. He says he's fat, which I would love him to say. Go up to Vlasic and say, "Oh, you're fat." He would first laugh at you before he headbutted you, right? But
he didn't do anything.
He didn't
do anything.
Do you know what? He didn't do anything because of how much Benrahma was taking the game by the scruff of the neck. He didn't really get onto the ball and really offend. No, it's. I think.
Nothing.
Yeah, but what am I saying? I'm saying he didn't really do anything.
What are you giving him?
I have to say 5. Like I said, you can't really truly say Vlasic didn't do nothing. Like Vlasic didn't come on and play shit. He didn't really. But this is the thing with Moyes. Yeah, but this is the thing with Moyes' subs. And this is the thing what he keeps doing to Vlasic. You keep bringing him 83 minutes. You're not giving him enough time to get into the game.
Dan, let me ask you this, mate, right? Because I'm not his biggest fan, and Mitchell knows this. I think Jase knows it. Obviously, this is your first time on here with me, yeah? How would you assess Vlasic this season, in your opinion? Like, his first season at West Ham?
No, honestly, I think he's not had enough of a chance. I think most games that I've seen him, he has been one of the most proactive players, like energetic in terms of trying to make things happen, not losing the ball. The fact that he tries to keep the ball, whatever means necessary. But this is the thing. With Moyes. Like, we're getting this guy who's been in the Russian league, yeah, and you're bringing on Yarmolenko over this guy. Like, no one can tell me he can't do more than Yarmolenko.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that he won't benefit from minutes, experience in this Premier League after coming from the right. I know he played a little bit under Everton, but that's different. He hasn't been here in years and played as a at this top level. You can't tell me that we can't look at Vlasic, give him more experience, more time in the team. Instead of these little cameos, we're getting cameos every flipping week. You know what I mean? Not even every week. But
let me ask you though, Dan. Let me ask you: does he deserve to start a game for West Ham? Has he done enough to deserve to start?
Do you know what I think? When we had Benrahma, at the African Cup of Nations, I think he should have had a chance to start. He needs opportunities. He needs time to get that experience. Like, okay, so you're bringing him at 83 minutes. Is he really getting enough time to go and demonstrate why he should start? And this is the problem with Moyes. Moyes likes to slow burn players in. Instead of going, do you know what? You're the new signing. Let's give you experience. Let's throw you in. Let's let you have a 6 out of 10 game. And then go, okay, boom, you've got that vital experience. Let's go again and get you warmed up. Like, he has the tools there. He's one of our most energetic and lively players. He just needs to work out them few little bits and pieces of knowing, okay, when to release the ball, when to pass it, to make the right pass at the right time. But like I said, the guy has the physicality. The guy's not a lightweight. He don't lose the ball easily. People, you know what I mean? That's what we need. And that's what we probably could have benefited early doors in that game when we was getting out-muscled by,
what did you give him today?
By them. Like I said, I give him a 5. I give him a 5 because he didn't come and he didn't really do much, but he didn't do nothing wrong, but he didn't get enough time to influence the game. Like, I would have had him over Fornals today. I would have easily had him. I would have much rather had him over Fornals. I think he's a much more positive and progressive player than Fornals. Going forward. As much as I like Fornals, I do like him. What are you giving him then? What are you saying about? I know you don't like him.
I thought it was slow today. He didn't do anything today. What he's been given the chances and everything, he's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing.
Really intriguing.
He's done absolutely nothing since he's been here.
How would you assess him this year, Jase?
He's been poor. He's been poor. Like, he's been given the chances. I don't know what you're talking about. He's been given chances. He's not living up to the standards that he should be doing.
Like 89.
Well, you're bringing a player like his standards that everyone banging on about, but he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything, and he's been given the chances too many times, and nothing's happened.
Yeah, but this
is
the problem, Jase. Right? Did Bowen come in and he didn't get played straight away, did he? Obviously, he come good.
He did, yeah.
What? No, he played, didn't he? Then he dropped him. Remember, he kept subbing between Benrahma. Benrahma, Bowen. Benrahma, Bowen. Bowen wasn't a clear certified. There's players like Benrahma's another one where he's not coming in and bringing him all the time, like to give him that chance. We have to be patient. I think as West Ham fans, we want people to come in.
Come on, Dan.
What are you giving him then?
Yeah, what are you giving him, Jase, before I get to bathroom?
Anything from 3 today, 3. But that amount of minutes, how many minutes was it?
3. Oh, geez. I don't know. I don't know.
3, man, 3. I didn't see nothing from him. I didn't see anything from him.
It's an interesting debate, I must admit. Listen, because I'm not his fan. I'm not a fan of Vlasic. I know I say that quite openly. I think he's come to the club. I think it was a panic buy because we couldn't get Lingard. That's definitely what I think. I just feel he hasn't really done he hasn't done anything to justify starting for West Ham. And the thing is, when you look at Lanzini, I know Lanzini's been here a long time. I get it, the sentimental value, but Lanzini's getting in front of Vlasic, which is a worry. Like, this is a man who's been injury prone, and let's be honest, like in the summer, we all thought Lanzini was out the door, and Lanzini's come in and he's getting ahead of Vlasic for that. For today, I didn't see anything, if I'm honest. I'll give him a standard 5. It's just that's what that's what he does. It's just standard with Vlasic. But I understand it. You're either on the fence of Vlasic or you're not on the fence of Vlasic. I understand the time factor, but I think sometimes we need these players to perform now. We can't put all our money into someone and expect him to perform in 18 months. Can you see what I'm saying? So I'll give him a 5 for me. Mitch, what do you reckon?
Vlasic. I think he's had enough chances, if I'm being honest. At the start of the season, I didn't think he had enough, to be fair. I would see him a lot more. And but now I think, especially in the last couple of months, especially I think in the end of November, December and January, he got quite a few minutes. Because there was cup games as well. I just don't think he has enough of an influence going forward. I think he just keeps it very simple. Doesn't try any difficult passes. It doesn't shoot from outside the box. And when he has done, it's not big. They've been shit shots, if I'm being honest. How many goals he scored for us? 1 or like 2?
1.
One, and it was a tap. It was a tap-in.
Yeah, so, Watford away.
But he had to be there to be for the tap-in, to be fair. He had some movement.
Okay. So did fucking Afolayan, who scored a tap-in for us, and he's playing in League One. Anyway, I feel like attackers need to have an influence on the game and change the game. That's what they're there for. Midfielders, a bit different. I think obviously he's a forward really because he plays on the wing, play central. You think he's played up top for Croatia. I don't know. It's a weird one with him. He looks like a tidy player when he's on the ball, and then he just does nothing with it. He'll just pass it to another player. And all the players that change the games is Bowen and Benrahma. Benrahma's obviously not as consistent as Bowen in terms of what he does. They're the players that try things different. And Vlasic needs to do that. And if he could do that, then possibly he could be a potential star in the future. I don't see it personally. I just think Moyes needs. I'd like Moyes to get in his ear and say, try some things, because if you are a decent player and if you want to actually show yourself and become a first team starter, you need to try more difficult passes. You need to try to beat a man, because I don't think I've seen him beat a man.
No.
What'd you rate him, Mitch? What'd you rate him?
5. Nothing. Just again, say nothing.
5. 5 out of 10.
Standard.
The final sub is this man, Saeed Benrahma, my boy, the man I've backed from minute 1. This man's an easy scapegoat. He really is. Listen, against Watford, he played 60 minutes. He hit the post. He had the best chance in the first half, and he gets hooked on the 60th minute mark. Don't get me wrong, Lanzini played well in that game, and I can't take nothing away from Lanzini. But today proved to me, hopefully it proved to all the fan base that when he comes on, he's a threat. I thought he was excellent. Come on, he had shots. He was trying to make things happen. He was running at people on a slippery surface. Also, I'm giving him an 8 for his influence today. I thought he was excellent. His shot is the reason why he went out for a corner, from deflection, and then Bowen sends the corner in, and we get the equaliser. I like Saeed Benrahma. I always have done. I've always said when I see him at Brentford, I think there's a talent there, and I like him in that front 4 with Bowen. I think when the two of them are playing together, I think they're excellent in spells. Do you know what I mean? He ain't going to work all the time, but we ain't going to win all the time. So, yeah, it's an 8 for me. Dan and Jase, what do you reckon?
He was an 8. He was, as soon as he came on, outstanding. We was going nowhere, absolutely nowhere without him on that pitch. As soon as he came on, everything started happening. We was a different team as soon as he came on, didn't they?
Again, it was too late though. Substitution was way too late.
Yeah, once again, that's the big problem. The substitution is, I'm counting the clock down. I'm like, is he really going to leave it? It comes 83 minute, a double sub.
He's just so stubborn, Moyes, at the
Yeah,
moment, especially.
it frustrates me because
He should have come on earlier.
Benrahma
should have come on earlier.
Benrahma should have started the game. Absolutely should have started the game. You know, he adds a lot of stuff. He has the work rate, he has the defensive side of things. He needs to, and I don't know if this is a Moyes thing, get to that conference where he takes players on a bit more.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we know he's got it in his locker. And whether I don't know whether it's a Moyes thing or whatever, but I thought that he was one of the players that actually tried to take the game by the scruff of the neck, take shots, and that is a big problem with the team.
Yes.
The pass. Just have a go. Yeah. Because if you're not going to score it, you're going to get deflection for a corner, or keeper's going to push it off to a corner.
Exactly.
It's a different game. It's a different game. It was like we was a different team. Everything about us, the energy of us just started.
Let me ask you both, right? Because obviously you have a lot of people in your chat, and people say like they're either a Benrahma fan or they're not a Benrahma fan. How can I put this? Is Benrahma a bit of a scapegoat at West Ham?
Yeah, look,
I fan base.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I said this on the watch along. He's one of them players that if he don't have like an 8 and 9 out of 10 game, everyone's on him. Like people are like looking at him, Benrahma. If he's not getting goals and assists, people aren't looking at Fornals. People ain't looking at Lanzini or even Bowen, even though Bowen's been great. But they're always he is that player.
He's basically our star player at the moment. Right?
He's fairly consistent, I think.
You got Bowen, right? I agree. But the signing wise, right? He was the big signing for us.
Well, yeah, that come in.
He was the one that everyone puts their eyes on.
He come in with a lot of fans.
A lot of fans, everything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but this is what I'm saying. Like Nicky on the channel, I'm not having Benrahma. I'm not having Ben. I'm like, what do you mean you're not having Benrahma? Like, okay. He's not this Payet player that every week.
That's what everyone's thinking. Everyone thinks he's the Payet player.
No,
100% agree on that. That what you've just said there is what I seem to keep seeing all the time. They think he's the next Payet, and he's not.
That's what everyone thinks he's the Payet player.
He does more defensive work than Payet. There's times literally I've seen him back in our half making a key tackle to go in and get us on the attack. Like he is that sort of player, and he's adapting to how Moyes wants him to play. It's just one of them things. So it's a tough one when it comes to today. I can't give him an 8 because Bowen's at 8. He got a goal, he got an assist. Bowen, he had a good game, and Benrahma didn't really get enough time with him. Benrahma, was good coming on. He was influential. Like a high 7, really and truly. But poor. Well, I say I'm going to do 0.5. But yeah, poor timing from Moyes. So I'd give him a 7, high 7.
7. 8. What about you, Jase? Are you sticking with an 8 or are you going with a 7?
Maybe a 7.
Don't bottle it.
I'll give it 8.
And Mitchell, give me a rating for Benny.
7. Had a great influence on the game. Should he have started? Probably, yeah. However, I did see why he didn't start because I don't think he was that good against Watford, if I'm being honest. I think he didn't really get involved in the game against Watford. But today I thought he was great when he came on, superb. This is my problem with Benrahma. I think the problem with him is Moyes. I think Moyes wants him to play a certain way, a systematic player, just to keep it simple and just cross it in a lot of time and do things that Benrahma ain't really used to. I think to get the best things out of Benrahma, I think he needs a free role where he can just play kind of wherever he wants and just choose what he wants to do. I think that's when the best Benrahma will come out, because when he starts game in a system where we play a system, I think I want him to start because I think he's too good to play on the bench. But when he comes off the bench, I actually think every time he's come off the bench for us, when he's played for us, he's always done quite well, Benrahma. He's always been a very good impact sub, especially last season when he wasn't starting. When every time he came off the bench, he made an impact and he looked good. It looked exciting. I think that's because he watched the game himself from like this from his seat and thought, okay, this is what I can add to the game. Whereas when he starts a game, he plays in Moyes' system. Look, he's quite inconsistent. Benrahma, one game he's good, one game he ain't so great. I think he does need to work on his kind of end product sometimes. I think especially his crossing is shocking. His crossing is very bad, I think. But then again, sometimes he can pull out wonder crosses.
Yeah, he's
like he done
some
for
great
Antonio.
games.
Yeah. It's a shame.
I can't blame him for all. It's up front as well, isn't it? Though, like we ain't got the strike force up front for him to get those.
I agree with you.
Like,
I think
which is why at the moment, instead of crossing it in all the time, which you're doing, just have some shots from range. How many? So the goals we've scored. Let's think about it. This year, have we scored a single goal from going down the wing and crossing it in or cutting it back? I don't think we have. Every goal has been from either.
It's been a few. It's been a few occasions. There's been a few occasions, Mitchell.
For the amount of times we put in so many crosses every game, and it very rarely works out. Most of our goals, though, like this year, I'm on about the calendar year.
Yeah, James. But the problem is with that. Is when Mikel Antonio used to be known for scoring goals with his head, he don't score goals with his head anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
So
that's the problem.
I wouldn't play that kind of way of just crossing it in and cutting it back all the time. The way we're scoring goals recently, for example, Kidderminster, Rice's goal and Bowen's goal was purely from players having a go, individual players having a shot, running in a box. For example, Bowen's one today wasn't a cross. The goal was from a set piece. We need to just have players that are willing to just have a shot. And Bowen does that. Bowen's the only one that does that. Benrahma did today when he came on, but sometimes he plays too systematic. Benrahma. When he came on today, he was unleashed.
But he done all right today, I must admit. So what are you giving him, Mitch?
Well. 7
out of 10. Right, final two ratings of the evening. We start off with the ref. Dan and Jase, what do you make of the ref today?
I thought the ref was poor, to be honest. Michael Oliver, can't stand him. Chav referee. It's absolute. It's some of these, like the way that they were just hacking down our players, and some of them they weren't even getting a foul for. Some of them they weren't getting booked for. You look at it. I just thought he was, he started some of the fouls that he gave against us. Like it was so frustrating. Like some of these, and you think, come on, that's so lightweight. And it was just like slowing down the game every time we got a bit of movement. So it was very inconsistent, very poor, but he didn't do anything completely like Mike Dean-esque today, where it's just like, oh my God, you've changed. Yeah, but to be fair, it was. At the time I wasn't. So he give it. So that's what I'm saying. He hasn't done anything, made any big mistake in the game. So really and truly, I have to give him before. Like he weren't, even though some of his decisions were frustrating, he didn't have this big influence on the game where I can say if it weren't for the ref, the result would have been different. So I have to say 4.
Jase?
I think he's a bit harsh there. It's a 5. It's a 5. He just he played the game. He got.
But what I'm talking about is them cards. They're inconsistent with the cards. Inconsistent with the fouls, the booking, the fouls and things like that. That's why he was poor. I was screaming at him a few times, so I know he didn't have a good game.
I'm going to agree with Jase. I'll give him a 5. I think 5's about right, standard. Do you know what I mean? Not vintage, but not great. But Michael Oliver is just not very good. Mitchell, is it a 5 or 4 for you?
It's neither. It's a 6.
Oh, blimey.
And
Mitchell, have you been drinking as much as Dan and Jase? What's going on here?
I think I have actually, mate. No, I tell you what. I just I don't think it was too bad. I think he kept the pace of the game well. Played advantage a couple of times. I think he always gave fouls where there was fouls, to be fair. A couple of times I think he could have given a card to their players, especially who were very bad at that. Fornals tried to dive and get a penalty. It was quite bad. Was it Fornals? I think he dived and he could have got a booking and he didn't. So we got lucky there. One incident I will say, however, was when I think we had a chance to cross the ball in on the left-hand side and Pereira was down. It wasn't a head injury. And he stopped play and he gave it to them. And like I said, He stopped play for the Leicester player, even though we should have played on. And they've given it back to us in our defence, and it's completely like, don't get that.
I remember that. That was Schmeichel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Schmeichel. Yeah.
And I mean, to be honest, mate, I don't think he was that bad. I think it was just all right, bad. And there's much worse refereeing performances I've seen this season. So
right.
I think a 6 for me.
6 from Mitchell. Final rating of the evening is this man, Mr. David Moyes. I'm going to leave Dan and Jase till last in this one. I'm going to start off with Mitchell. What do you reckon, Mitch?
He's just one stubborn cunt, and I love the man. He's praise to him. He's got us into a very good position, and he's a very good coach. However, at the moment, I just feel like we are riding our luck with performances. And the way we're playing, it's so robotic and it's so boring. We're not changing anything. And when we do change something, it's purely down to individual players. It's not down to the system. Every game at the moment, his substitutions are so late on. His lineups are controversial. He keeps starting Coufal every game, and he does not deserve to start anymore, Coufal. I said this, I think, 3 weeks ago. He should have been like Johnson deserves to come in at right back. Because Johnson at right back, when he played at left back, I don't think Johnson's good enough. I think he's actually pretty shit. However, when he plays at right back, I think he's very good. And just much more composure. And the amount of times today Coufal put forward. How did Moyes not see? When did he substitute Coufal?
65th minute, I think it was.
See, that's completely wrong. A lot of managers, I think.
And I'll tell you what, just
managers.
Before we get to your rating, right? We were sitting there watching it. Obviously, all of us were sitting there today watching it. And on the 60th minute, he knows there's a problem there with Coufal because he's getting done every like Leicester literally couldn't wait to get the ball over to Barnes. And it took Moyes 8 minutes to get him on the pitch. How long does it take someone to get on the pitch? 8 minutes.
Joke.
Terrible, mate. Honestly, it really was.
Mate,
give me your
manager,
rating, Mitch, for Moyes.
I'd give him a 3. A proactive manager. First of all, he shouldn't have started, but a proactive manager would have hooked him at half time because his first half performance was diabolical, absolutely shocking. Substitutions are way too late. He's just a really stubborn man, and it's not just the substitutions. As I say, the game plan. I think we play such a boring, just same old go down the wings, cross it in style of football, and I think we need to change the way we attack at the moment. It's very lackluster, and it's not creative enough. It's very robotic.
I agree. For me personally, giving Moyes a rating today, I'll give him a 4. I think it's just a 4 for me. I think Lanzini coming in is wrong. I didn't agree with it at all from the start, and it proved it when we start struggling in the second half. The Coufal thing baffled me. Like you can see he's getting done. It took you nearly 10 minutes to get the man on the pitch in Fredericks. And that was shocking itself. I like Moyes, but he's very stubborn. He's a very, very stubborn man. He's stubborn in the way and his approach. Today, it felt like we set up there to contain Leicester and try and nick a win, rather than being the top 4 team that we are at present. Going there and being on the front foot.
After we just sat back, didn't we?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
For me, it's a 4. I just wish he had sorted himself out, Moyes. I really do. He's very stubborn. He's very slow. Like, let's be honest, Benrahma and Vladimir should have been on 5-6 minutes before they did.
No,
so yeah,
it's not earlier than that.
It's a simple, it's a simple 4 for me. Dan and Jase, David Moyes.
You know what, Alex Chapman, what he's just said there. Souček is Moyes' Fellaini, right? He would stick with him no matter what. And like you said, he's a stubborn manager. He sticks with his same players. And sometimes when it doesn't work, he will still stick with it.
Yeah.
Everything just went, it didn't go right. It didn't go right. You know, he should have played Benrahma today. He really should have played Benrahma. But he stuck with what he thinks is right. And like you said, a 4 is right. It is right. What it was poor today from Moyes' decisions. Bringing on 2 attacking midfielders at 83 minutes. 83 minutes.
I know.
83 minutes. What are you gonna get? What are you gonna get from that? We're so lucky that we got something from it in a way. But come on, you need to a bit. Come on, hello. A bit earlier than that. Come on.
Well, yeah, because we get that equaliser, then
we could go again. Exactly.
You say 4. It's like, look, I'm happy with what Moyes has done. Look, we're fourth thanks to him. Yeah. We're fourth in the league. And he gave us a good season last season, but he frustrates the life out of me, to be honest. No real plan B. We haven't really found another way of playing that we can swap things up and change things. Yes, the substitution, what everyone has said, frustrating. Thankfully, I'd give him an extra point for not bringing on Yarmolenko, because if he brought on Yarmolenko, he'd be getting a 0 today, because that frustrates the life out of me when he does that. But the big thing today is when I look on that pitch with David Moyes, is when I see that we've got no new signings on that pitch. And this man said that there was no one that he could get that was better than what we had. So there's no one better as a second striker than no second striker. There's no better centre-back, Kaletica, whatever you think, than Diop or Dawson, right? There's no one there that we could have got. And that's what frustrates me, or a left back or something like that. The fact that he come out and said that, and we can all see that we need something else, a bit of energy, a bit of something different injected into this team, and we're missing it. And we've got
still get Diego Costa. We can still get that man.
Apparently he's 38, someone told me.
38? No, I think 33.
Yeah.
No, he's 38. 33, I think.
33. Where I'd get him. He's 38. Yeah, so this is, and that is the big thing about Moyes. He's diveringness. I don't even know that's a word, but he divers. He's
different Dave.
He is. That's why he's called that, because he differs, not just in the transfer window, but also with his substitutions.
100%.
He tries to wait until the players on the pitch come good and play.
He's not proactive, is he, Danny? He reacts to the situation.
But he doesn't react quick enough. That's the problem, because we were getting dominated for a lot of that game for a long period. You're telling me that whole second half, 83 minutes was the time. I know he brought Coufal off, but that's when you look at it, you're bringing off a right back, for a player that is better at wing back, but you're not really playing him more defensive. He's main defense. It's not really a proactive, it's not really an attacking substitution like a Benrahma that can really go and change things. So, that is obviously Zuma last minute, but Zuma not playing wasn't an issue, because Diop and Dawson had decent games. Yeah. It was going up front, and the style of play that we're playing, the tactics that we're playing, the way we're moving the ball around comes from the manager. So I have to give him a 3 today. As much as grand scheme of things, yes, we are where we are, but we haven't got these new signings, largely because I think we miss Lingard. I think Lingard will be a breath of fresh air in this team. Yeah. The way he plays, his directness, his pace. And we couldn't get Lingard. That's not on him why we didn't get Lingard. But an Antonio alternative, you can't tell me that we couldn't push hard to get an Origi or someone like that. You can say, boom, Antonio, you're off, mate. You're hooked off. Or start them. I said to Jase, I love the idea of Antonio coming with 25 minutes to go. Late on, players are tired. He's coming on and
it's not even that, Dan. The striker, as a backup to Antonio, doesn't even have to start. It's just to push him.
Yeah.
Good striker to push him. And all you had to do was, you could have sold Yarmolenko in the window and then got a striker with high wages. For example, you could have hooked Yarmolenko. If wages is a problem, which it's not anyway, you could have got rid of Yarmolenko and brought Diego Costa in, and you can still do that. And not necessarily to play. He's a plan B option, Diego Costa, but he's also there to push Antonio. Because as we said tonight, Antonio's performance is very lackluster, and he knows that he's going to start every game.
I agree with you, honestly, I really do. With Moyes, I agree with what Dan was saying about the transfer window. I think that was key. I think what it is, Moyes has put himself up on offer here big time, if I'm honest. If this works out and we do get in Europe, everyone will say he's done the right thing. If it don't,
It's
we
bollocks,
collapse.
but no, it's not.
Yeah,
But it's not though, James, because
I understand what
the
you're
players have done it
saying,
themselves. Because
yeah,
if Moyes was less stubborn, what's to say we could have got into top 4? Say we get
but
top 6. What's to say we
it all goes back to whatever happens in the summer. Now, if we go after players in the summer, and he brings in 6 players in the summer, then yeah, we will see.
Yeah, here's the thing, James. Right? If we can bring 6 players in the summer, but we got to realise, if we wait to the summer, we're out of Europe. Yeah, we haven't won a trophy. You're telling me then you've got Newcastle going to spend like crazy, Aston Villa are going to spend like crazy, Everton are going to spend like crazy, Man United are going to go again, Tottenham are going to go again, Arsenal are going to go again. So now we've got an even more of an uphill battle next, and then we've got to try and keep our best players in Rice and Bowen that play the team come for. Right, we've got an even more of an uphill battle. Whereas if we focus on this season, get the players in, do everything we can to achieve something good this season that sets us up well for next season, then we're moving and we've got a head start on other teams.
Before we wrap it up, I've asked all the boys this now. Do we have to get Europe this year to make sure that we keep at least one of our players, big boys?
I think so, yeah.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
Minimum. Yeah. Look, there's a chance if we don't get Europe, we could keep Rice because no one meets our valuation. But all that means is that Rice probably won't sign a new deal, unless. But what they need, and this is the problem, they haven't been offering him £150 million player wages. They've been offering him mid-tier wages where he should be our highest paid player easily. Yeah,
and they did offer him highest paid earner wages, though, didn't they? At the start of the season, according to X.
Well, I didn't hear that, but either way,
but even then it should have been more because apparently it was just our top earner, so it would have been around 130, 140. I think he should be earning well in excess of 200.
I think if West Ham are going to be an ambitious club, they pay him what an ambitious club should pay someone of his quality. Do you know what I'm saying? I think when you're
this season, I have to say 6th. Like with no trophies and 6th. That's the minimum. And people
I agree.
And,
you're bang on.
This is what annoys me because people come out and say, "Oh, well, we're West Ham and we used to be in a relegation battle. We moved to this stadium to be where we are, right? That is the point. What is the point in all of this if we're just going to accept relegation battle and then we're just happy to be there for one season and drop back down? No, we need to. And the fact that we were 4th in that top 4 when the transfer window was there, and we had a chance to really strengthen and solidify it, and we said
we're still on the top.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. While the transfer window was open, we had that opportunity to solidify it. So now you're saying, no, we can't get better more. With what we've got is good enough. Then you better get that over the line because if we finish 7th and get no trophy, that's not good enough for this season, right? If we want to progress, because I'm telling you, we don't. We just go straight back down to mid-table, and we don't have good players like Rice. We don't get to see exciting seasons. We don't get European away days. That's gone. What's the point? So
I totally 100% agree with you there, Dan. I want to thank you boys, Dan and Jase, for coming on tonight. I really do appreciate you giving me your time tonight. Keep up the good work on West Ham Fan TV, the watch-alongs, lads. Really do enjoy watching them, mate. And Mitchell, thanks for coming on, son. You was Mr. Zen tonight. You ain't lost your rag once.
Yeah, no, mate. That's nice to know me.
You're a changed man.
I'm all good.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Mitchell because for some reason, whenever there's a problem, it's always with Mitchell's fan cam. and me and Scott was WhatsApping, going like, "Oh my god!" Like because we had it on the backup audio, and Nicky had it, and we're like, "Oh no!" Andy had it, and we're like, "Oh my god, it's Mitchell! It's Mitchell's again!" Oh
Make sure you're the last fan cam.
Because what we do, you get the first couple. Sometimes that's where you work. Oh shit, there's a problem. Sort that out. So I have to
be the last one.
That's fine. It's fine.
The last one.
Leave the best till last. That's what they say. I want to thank everyone in the chat tonight who's contributed with their comments. I haven't had a chance to get through them all. Obviously, the show takes over. And yeah, smash a like on the video. Also, it goes a long way. It helps me out. Anyway, I will leave it at that with all the boys. It's 2-2. It's a point in Leicester.
He's got 6 shots to do.
Jase looks.
Look at him. He's scared. He's scared.
Yeah.
Look at him.
I would rather.
Transfer out. I'll do the 6 shots straight away.
Enjoy them shots, lads. Anyway, it's goodbye from them. It's goodbye from Mitchell. And it's goodbye from me. Take care. All the best and have a good week. Newcastle next at the LS. Bye.